Welt plus Acheron, this is going to combo. Oh my god, I just one-shot the boss. Hello internet, I gotta be real with you guys, I've been having way too much fun with this guy. Just the idea of making the enemy not able to move, it just makes me happy, which is why I've been testing out some teams. And here's the deal, I do think we are going to see the best new Acheron team. First of all, to show out the Acheron, right, these are the stat line. And honestly with Acheron, if you have like an Acheron but you don't have any Eidolons, it's kind of not that great, right, which is why I'm stopping at E2. I do believe most Acheron mains stop at E2, and I would say for what I'm about to attempt, I need the E2, otherwise it's not possible. But hey, I do actually think a lot of Acheron mates have E2 though at this point. We did get a free option to get Acheron's Eidolon if we wanted to from one of like the exchange tickets or whatever. But that's not important. What's more important is a disclaimer. Everything's here from the Creative Experience server. And then it's Welt stat as well. We're still using the sustain Welt, and this time we're going to be testing it out with Acheron. And of course, he does have E4. I personally have E5 on my own account. I've been losing so many 50-50s to Welt, and I do think that's actually the case for most people anyway. You don't need the E4 and Welt though. It's just really good to have. And with that set up, let me introduce you to the best Acheron team. Ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes. It is again going to be sustained Welt, which I think is just actually a valid idea. What's underrated though will be Cypher. You see, I'll be honest, Acheron's damage output is just not enough these days, but then Cypher's top up actually makes it very valid for Acheron's damage output to be considered enough, right? Her ult actually does a lot. We gotta go to Sparkle for skill points purposes, and not to mention Cypher does have follow-up attacks, does have a lot of ways to attack so that we can trigger Welt's post-buff effect of pushing the enemies back after the ultimate, right? Well, we'll be fighting this guy again. Just real quick before we actually go in. Listen, pulling for characters can be a train wreck like this one, which is why I'd like to introduce a website named Aniba. Aniba offers top-up services that I personally use in order to get the best top-up deals at a discount for the same top-ups that I already planned to purchase. You know I only use the trusted sources, which is perfect since Aniba complies with Hoyoverse's top-up service guidelines, and that's the biggest doubt removed. So to get the new version for incredible looking characters here with Aniba, click my link in the description, purchase the bundle you'd like, which actually has the best price that you can find. Enter yours or maybe even a friend's server and user ID, complete the purchase, and voila, your resources are in game, no fussy login required, zero hassle involved. You can even get exclusive cashback for your purchases that you can claim in your Aniba wallet for your next purchase, so it's just more money saved. If you're already planning on spending anyway, Aniba is honestly a good deal, and why not give it a look-see? And this actually helps me very much to afford food on the table, and I appreciate your support. Now then, back to the video. Will sustain Welt work again? I actually think he can work in any team. And away we go. Another showcase of sustain Welt, my favorite character right now probably. So you see, the reason why Welt is still really good with Acheron is Welt has a lot of debuffs to his name too. I'm gonna start with the bounce right here, ban. That's already one debuff. And now I have the ultimate too. The ultimate is more important because we're gonna get in the gacha waitlist, which does have defense reduction, right? And now we're gonna go in with the Acheron ult because the ultimate from Welt actually does give Acheron stacks as well. It's annoying that the stacks are at different enemies. I'm not sure if I can like make it different, but whatever. We'll just slash whoever. Let's go with this. Let's check out the damage output, man. Bam, a million. It's not bad. It's just not exactly good enough for today's standard, but if you have a Cypher on there, and at least with E2 Acheron, you can do more ults in the end, so it's still gonna work out fine. We'll start with the weaken. That's another stack for Acheron. Here we have to push. Now with Sparkle though, because Acheron doesn't spend more than one skill point, I will have to manually spend skill points with Sparkle skill. It's not exactly the nicest, but hey, I regenerate a lot though. And we got Acheron. Ideally, I kill them all. Yeah, I know, shocker, right? But yep, here's the kick, and you'll notice the kick did help me with a pushback, right? All the enemies got a pretty big pushback there, and it's gonna get better with Welt as well. I'm gonna go with a skill here. There should be the 8 Acheron stack. Here we got the Cypher. I got a couple of choices I can make here. I'm not sure if I can get to the 0 cycle. I'm gonna attempt it, but it is actually kind of risky because sustain Welt's good. If the enemy doesn't get a turn, that means you gotta do enough damage so they don't get a turn, right? I will be using the skill anyway though, and I'm gonna use Acheron's ult first. If I can, I'm gonna save Cypher's ult for when I have the most damage output with her, right? How much damage she's gonna do? 1.7. You know, I say she doesn't do enough. Well, she does have E2 first of all, and secondly, she might actually be doing enough. Gosh darn, that was a lot. All right, now we got the Sparkle. I'm gonna attempt to not have to use Cypher's ult, but if I have to, I have to. I'm gonna have to target the guy. Is this even gonna be good enough? I'm not sure. I'm gonna go for the skill here. I have to. This should probably kill already. Yeah, I gotta use it. All right, let me think. What is better here? I'm going going to... I don't know. I kind of want to use the skill, but I might run out of skill point. That is a worry with this team still. Yeah, I'll bite. I'll just use a basic, man. I'll use a basic. I'll use Cypher's ult. This needs to kill. I'm not sure if I can, though. It should be able. Yep, there we go. Thank you. And there we go. We did manage to get the 0 cycle so far. Sustained well, going crazy. And now we got a boss wave. I want to start with Welt's ult right away. That'll actually give me a really good push here. So this actually works out fine. We're going to get that weightless on, and boom. With that push up, now I can push you down. Well, it's a dominatrix like that. We'll use a skill to delay you further to get that debuff on as well. Here we got Cypher. I'm going to get a weaken in because the weaken actually helps with sustaining too, because you actually receive reduced damage. So all of that's actually good and nice. Let's check this damage out though. You still have damage reduction and 1,000,000 damage, which is really good. That kick was pretty fire as well. It broke the war armor and we get another delay, right? So the boss right now, look at that. Usually the boss would just be faster than the whole team, but not with Welt on the squad. With Welt, this is not a turn-based game. It is Welt's turn-based game. Welt decides when you get a turn, dude. It's not even a turn-based anymore. It's just him. All right, this is where I'm worried about skill points and very good reasons too. I am very worried about the skill points. Oh gosh. I don't think I can stop the boss from moving because genuinely I'm just not doing enough damage. I do need him to spawn his thing and kill all of the mobs. That way I definitely kill this guy. So yeah, I'm gonna have to use my skill here and I'm not sure, dude. I'll use a basic here. I'm out of skill points anyway, and here I'll push Acheron up. We'll get the skill point increase here, and I might actually save everything. Hold on. This is where sustain Welt is really hard to play. You really gotta figure out, like, you know, what damage you can take, what can't. But if you can do it well though, your damage output is gonna be explosive, right? I think this is what I'll do. I'll use a skill first. This will be 9 total ult stacks. This will attack the thickest character I have, which is also the shortest. And now you're gonna summon your stuff, right? All right, that's perfect actually. That's so nice. That allows me to go well ultimate in. That is maximum with 3 quadrivalent ascendant. So that's like, you know, min-max and everything. I don't know if whatever I said even made sense. Well, let's just kill the boss, dude. We should be able to explode all the swords here. Check this damage output out. 5.2 million, baby. How the hell are they still alive? All right, what do I do here? I'm going to have to, I don't know, use a skill first, and then I think I have to use the cat. I want to be able to break the little swords, but I don't think that's gonna be doable. This will probably kill it though. Yeah, there we go. All right, so this will be the other hit I gotta live, which I think I will be able to. Oh no, I did a misplay. I didn't mean to use my ult here. Dude, I needed him to spawn the sword first. Christ, that sucks. Well, I just said well, but Welt. Why is that funny to me? My humor's just broken. We'll still use our skill. We got 8 stacks now. I would love to have used my ult on like all the swords, right? So they had the weightless as well. Now they don't have the weightless, I don't think. Yeah, they don't have the weightless debuff. It's not good, but I gotta keep on keeping on. All right, now we got our ult. Let's check this damage out. This could have been way better if I had the weightless debuff, man. But yo, look at that damage though. It's still good, man. 3 million. It's like half of what I could have done. This is bad. I don't think we're gonna get this, but here's the hope, right? Maybe Welt has us. We can technically get enough to get another ultimate. Look at that. He has another turn right here. That's why he has wind set and high speed. So we're gonna get this. Bam. Wow, that's 1,000,000 damage. Jeez. And now we have another turn with Welt. Is he the savior right now, dude? I have to just use a Q for this one. It's not gonna land any debuffs for Acheron, but I need to save that skill point for the sparkle to push there. So now we get the weightless on everyone and the other layer of pushback too. Now we get Acheron to turn. I think this is it, guys. I got all the buffs, everything. I'm about to break all the swords, which should maximize the damage output, I'm pretty sure. So we'll go with the skill here. The damage should already be crazy. Not exactly crazy, but not low either. All right, if I can break all the swords here, Acheron, man. Welt plus Acheron, this is a go-to combo. Oh my God. We just one-shot the boss. Holy cow. I'm actually in love with Welt. Like, he's so fun. So, ladies and gentlemen, is Acheron back, baby? That run took 2 cycles anyway because, well, Acheron's damage output is capped by, like, her ultimate. You need to get to her ultimate ride. But the fact that Welt allowed that leeway of, like, just spamming that pushback on the enemy enough for Acheron to get enough ults is pretty much where the value is at. And I'm pretty sure if I didn't have the E2, maybe I could have had it anyway, though. But yeah, in terms of survival, it got pretty close there. But I don't think there's a chance the boss would have, like, ended me unless I got extremely unlucky where his bounce, all of them hit on one guy. But I don't think that's possible, though. So Welt sustain is honestly probably the best Acheron setup right now. Like, you can definitely have Welt be replaced by anyone, any sustains. But then, you know, Acheron's damage output is definitely capped in that regard. So to speed things up, you have a Welt that can consistently put on debuffs for, you know, Acheron to get her ult stack and push them back so Acheron get more turns before the enemy does. And we can speed up the team by a lot. So Acheron fans, dude, you're gonna have a load load of fun, especially if I'm well at high Eidolons, man. E4 is the secret. You do so much more damage here, but I don't think you need to get to E4. At the very least, you know what? I don't even think you necessarily need Eidolons. E4 is really good, though. Like, if your Acheron's good enough, you don't need it. You still do enough damage, I think. But yeah, overall, man, I love Welt. He's so fun. Now this guy is actually Thanos. He is a Thanos, like in the lore. Now it goes full circle. It translates in-game. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be all for this video. Acheron and Welt, man. Can't wait to try it on my own account. It's been so long since I used Acheron. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and take care.